When people hear introvert, they picture the quiet kid who never raised their hand in class, or the shy wallflower trying to blend into the background at a party. But that stereotype fails to explain a common experience, being highly engaged and outgoing for hours, followed by a sudden, intense physical need to leave the room. Introversion describes the biological baseline for how your brain recharges its social battery. This flowchart illustrates the core mechanical difference. An input like a social event creates two outputs. Extroverts become energized, while introverts burn through reserves and end up drained. This drained branch fractures into four paths because exhaustion happens for different reasons. If you misidentify which path you are on, you continuously apply the wrong recovery strategy, leading directly to chronic social burnout and strained personal relationships. Research from Wellesley College isolates four distinct profiles within the introvert spectrum, discrediting the idea that introversion is a single uniform trait. Telling every introvert to simply stay home to recharge is rarely effective, as the remedy often fails to match the specific cause of the drain. Instead, there are four specific biological and psychological profiles that dictate how you operate. Identifying your exact profile allows you to stop fighting your own neurobiology and start managing your social energy more effectively. The matrix maps each profile. The social introvert engages deeply with small, trusted groups. Their red flag is the sudden wall of instant emotional exhaustion. The thinking introvert routes energy into deep introspection. Their optimal strategy is actively communicating their need for internal processing time. Because of this heavy internal processing, their colleagues and romantic partners will frequently misinterpret their silence as aloofness or disconnection. Both the social and thinking types must accept the friction of communicating their invisible energy limits to the people around them if they want to maintain their close friendships. The matrix adds the restrained introvert. Relying on routines, their core energy drain is rushed or spontaneous situations, prioritizing a stable energy baseline. The final row introduces the anxious introvert, highlighted in red. Their operating system revolves entirely around extreme solitude and constant rumination. Following a social interaction, they often analyze and replay their behavior in their heads, seeking a temporary feeling of safety through this internal review. While the first three types focus strictly on conserving their energy, the anxious type focuses on avoiding perceived social danger. When this drive for safety becomes the primary motivator for isolation, it can signal a shift toward a more serious health concern. There is a significant danger in romanticizing severe social avoidance as a quirky personality trait. This table establishes the exact boundary. The left lists healthy introverted traits based on personal preference. The right lists clinical anxiety symptoms based on physical reactions. Focusing on the clinical side, specific physical red flags appear: shaking, nausea, and an uncontrollably increased heart rate. These physical reactions are not introversion. They are the hallmark indicators of social anxiety disorder. If your desire for isolation is driven by physical fear and panic rather than a natural need to recharge, you must seek professional medical intervention. You cannot change your neurobiology, but you can dictate how you spend your energy. This quadrant chart, the optimization map, measures your need for routine versus spontaneity on the x-axis and internal processing versus external output on the y-axis. Plotting the four types reveals a clear strategy for each. Highlighting the social and restrained quadrants, the actionable rules appear: pre-communicate exit times and require 24-hour notice. These types require systemic boundaries to avoid burning out. Focusing on the thinking quadrant, a new label drops in: silence equals processing, not rejection. If you are in a relationship with this type, understanding this metric prevents unnecessary conflict. Placing yourself and your partners accurately on this map helps you determine when the effort of socializing is actually worth the outcome. To the self-diagnosers watching, never use introversion as a shield to hide treatable clinical anxiety. For everyone else, the first step to healthy connections is discarding the expectation that you should function like an extrovert. When you stop forcing yourself to keep pace with fast-moving social expectations, you achieve an immediate sense of relief and stability. Take the parameters of your specific type and clearly communicate them to your inner circle.
Willingly accepting the initial friction of setting rigid boundaries is the price required to achieve a higher return for your energy and your relationships.